Hi, everybody. So this is your video lesson for Wednesday, April 21st. And we are going to do two lessons today because lessons 14 and 15 are so short. We're going to put them together. Okay, so I hope you had a great afternoon yesterday. I am going to go ahead and share my screen with you. Make sure that you have your journal and a pencil ready to go, okay? All right, here we go.
Welcome back, incredible thinkers. I'm Sue Sabella, your Great Minds teacher. Let's see what we need for today. Today, you'll need handout 14A, focusing question task 2, evidence organizer, your journal, and a pencil. Please pause here to gather what you need and just hit play when you're ready to continue.
Okay, so you're going to need your journal and a pencil. We are going to create handout 14A, the evidence organizer, in our journal on page 182.
Let's read this question together. How do I prepare to write an opinion paragraph? An important step in preparing to write an opinion paragraph is to take time to remember what the parts are of an opinion paragraph. Here's a challenge, my friends. I'm showing you the first letter for each part of the opinion paragraph. I'd like you to pause here to name each part as you touch each letter. And just hit play when you're ready to review the parts of the opinion paragraph together.
Okay, so let's think about it. What does the I stand for? The introduction. What does the first O stand for? The opinion statement. The R stands for your reason. Good. And the E stands for evidence. And then the last O stands for what? The opinion conclusion.
The first part of an opinion paragraph is the introduction. And this is where we introduce the general topic to our readers. If your opinion is based on something that you read in a book, this is a perfect place to mention the title of that book. The next part of an opinion paragraph is the opinion statement. This is where you clearly state how you feel or what you're thinking about a topic or a question. The next part of the opinion paragraph is the reason. The reason tells your readers why you feel or think that way about a topic or a question. Powerful opinion writers gather evidence and include evidence in their opinion paragraphs. And at the end of the paragraph, we include an opinion conclusion. That opinion conclusion reminds your readers about your opinion statement. Usually, they're very similar. Evidence makes opinion paragraphs stronger, and evidence organizers can help us organize evidence so we can look at it closely to help us form our opinion statements. Before we begin practicing how to choose evidence to include in the evidence organizer for focusing question task 2, please pause here to read over the evidence organizer that compares how the townspeople benefited along with the beggar. Just hit play when you're ready to continue.
Okay, so now in yesterday's video, I asked you to look at the chart and to decide which one you wanted to use as your opinion for who benefited the most for making the soup. Okay, so make sure that you read over the chart again, that you have you understand what the evidences are for your choice.
Let's take a look at the directions on handout 14A. The directions tell us, after you form your opinion, use this planner to record the evidence you need to write your answer for focusing question task 2. Then look at your evidence to decide a reason. So first, we will record evidence. If I selected the townspeople as the group who benefited the most, I would circle the word townspeople. And then I would choose at least 2 pieces of evidence from my evidence organizer to add to handout 14A. The townspeople ate and laughed. They sang and played music. Now that I have my evidence, I can write down a reason. Since I need to explain why I think the townspeople benefited the most, my reason sentence can begin with, I think this because. Please pause here to finish my reason sentence out loud. And remember, you can share it with a learning partner if one is available. Just hit play when you're ready to continue.
Okay, if we are looking at Miss Sabella's graphic organizer, her evidence organizer, she said that she thinks the townspeople obviously benefited most because they ate and they laughed and they sang and played music. So she thinks the townspeople benefited the most from making the soup because the village gets more friendly and because the townspeople learn to share. So that's what I would say out loud to finish the sentence. I think this because the townspeople get more friendly and they learn to share.
You're off to a great start with handout 14A, and you'll continue that with your classroom teacher. I'll see you again soon, my friends.
Okay, so we're going to stop right there for just a second. I'm going to pause the video. I'm going to try to do a split screen. So I'm going to pause the video. I'll be right back. Okay, let me do it. I was trying to put this half of the screen and then the evidence organizer chart from the video on half the screen, but it won't let me do 2 cameras at one time. So we're just going to have to go back. Okay, so this is the evidence organizer that you need to put page 182 of your journal, okay? Put today's date, 4/21, evidence organizer for focusing question task 2. You're going to write the question. Who benefited most from making the soup and bone button borscht? Okay, then you're going to choose one, townspeople or the beggar, and you're going to circle the one that you chose. I chose the beggar. You do not have to choose the beggar. I chose the beggar, that's why I circled it. Okay, I have room for my first piece of evidence, my second piece of evidence, and I'm going to write my reason down here. Now, where am I going to get my evidence from, guys? I'm going to go back to video. Didn't mean to do that. I'm going to go back to the video and I'm going to look on the screen. So I am writing about the beggar. So choices are got to eat, he had a place to stay, and he had new buttons. Okay. So now I'm going to go back to All right, so my evidence 1 is he got food to eat. And my second piece of evidence, he given a place to sleep. Okay. I'm going to add something in that I just thought about. I want to add a warm place to sleep. Okay, because remember how it was outside? Okay, so now my reason for thinking the beggar benefited the most is because he got his wish. If we go back, beginning of Bone Button Borscht. Oops. So in the beginning, he's talking about how he would like something to eat and how he would like a warm place to stay. So here talking about having something warm to eat, a place to stay. So that was his wish. He was looking for someone to help the poor little beggar that he was acting. So he gets his wish. So my reason for thinking the beggar benefited the most is because, remember, we have to tell why I think this, because the beggar got his wish. And what was his wish? The beggar had wished for a warm fire, soup, and noodle pudding. Okay, so I have my opinion statement is that the beggar benefited the most from making the soup and bone button borscht. I say that I think this because the beggar got his wish. The beggar had wished for a warm fire, soup, and noodle pudding. And in the story, he got food to eat and he was given a warm place to sleep. So I think the beggar benefited the most because his dreams came true. Remember in the story, he was dreaming in his head about someone asking him if he wanted more food or if he wanted a warm place to sleep. So that is my reason. Okay, now we're going to continue this, okay? On page 183, I'm going to take this evidence and this information on my evidence organizer, and I'm going to write it in an opinion paragraph, okay? So we need to introduce the story, okay? So I'm going to introduce the story. Let's see. The story of Bone Button Borscht is I'm going to say it's a magical story because his dream came true. That's what I'm talking about down here, right? His dream came true. So I'm going to say it's a magical story about sharing because everyone in the village learned how to share, didn't they? Okay, so there's my introduction. The story of Bone Button Borscht is a magical story about sharing. Now I'm going to talk about who I think benefited the most. So I think the beggar benefited the most from making the soup in Button Borscht. Okay, so there's my opinion statement. So if I'm going to color code, here's my introduction. Okay, so there's my introduction. And here's my opinion statement. Okay. So now I need to tell why I think the beggar benefited the most for making the soup in Bone Button Borscht. And I already wrote it down here, didn't I? Well, I need to say I think this because the beggar got his wish. The beggar had wished for a warm fire soup and noodle pudding. Okay, so there is my third part, which is my reason. I'm going to underline it in yellow. Okay, and now I have to give my evidence. How did he get his wish? He got food to eat. He was given lots and lots of food. He ate with the villagers. So he got food to eat when he ate with the villagers or the townspeople, either one. Okay. The people offered him a warm place to sleep. Okay, so he got food to eat when he ate with the villagers. He was given a warm place to sleep. All right, so those are my two pieces of evidence in the story. I'm going to underline those in blue. Okay, and so now I am back to my opinion conclusion. And remember, my conclusion restates the opinion statement. So I said, I think the beggar benefited the most from making the soup and bone button borscht. So I'm going to say in my conclusion, I think the beggar benefited the most because his wish, dream, same thing, came true. Okay. And because that is my opinion conclusion, I'm going to underline it in green because it restates my statement. Okay, there we go. So that is my opinion paragraph. Now, please remember that I expect you to write your own opinion paragraph. Please do not copy mine. Please write your own paragraph. Thank you. Okay, so let's get back to the video. We're going to look at the video for
Beggar. Just hit play.
listen to this part. We're going to look at day 15 video because it is finishing up.
Welcome back, powerful writers. I'm Susabella, your Great Minds teacher. Let's see what we need for today. Today, we'll need handout 15A, the opinion writing checklist, your journal, and a pencil. Please pause here to gather what you need and just hit play when you're ready to continue.
You do not need handout 15A. You just need your journal and a pencil still.
I'd like you to echo read this question, which means I'll read it first and then it'll be your turn. Ready? Here we go. How do I write an opinion paragraph in focusing question task 2? Now it's your turn.
How do I write an opinion paragraph in focusing question task 2?
I have a different challenge for you today. I'm going to cover up the parts of the opinion paragraph, and I want you to say all 5 parts on your own without any clues. Are you ready? Pause here to shout them out and just hit play when you're ready to continue. Now, pause here to check your work, to check your thinking. Did you have all of the parts of the opinion paragraph? Just hit play when you're ready to continue. Now that it's time to use the checklist for success to make sure you've included everything you need in your opinion paragraph, let's take time to review the checklist for success. It says, be sure to include all of the following in your response: introduction, opinion statement, 1 reason for your opinion, 2 pieces of evidence, and opinion conclusion. Here's an opinion paragraph based on focusing question task 2. I'd like you to check my work. Please use the checklist for success to make sure I've included all of the parts. Ready? Here we go. Bone Button Borscht is a story about magic soup. The townspeople benefit the most from making the soup. One reason is that the village gets more friendly. The people eat and laugh together. They also play music and sing. The townspeople benefit most now because they are kinder to one another. Please pause here to read over the paragraph on your own and to locate all 5 parts of the opinion paragraph. Just hit play when you're ready to continue. The introduction states the name of the book and also tells us a little bit about it. The opinion statement clearly states who I think benefited the most from making soup. I also provided a reason to support why I think the townspeople benefited the most. I also included 2 pieces of evidence from the text that support the reason. And at the end of the paragraph, I have an opinion conclusion, and that conclusion reminds the readers of what my opinion is.
All right, now we are actually to skip this part because we don't do these parts. I am moving over to the end of the video. Okay, actually that will be the end of it because the rest of it's talking about something we don't do. Okay, so as you can tell, Miss Sabella did her paragraph similar to how I did mine. I labeled my paragraph by colors, which I would like for you to do. I underlined the introduction, and remember you need that you have the story title in your introduction. You need to have your opinion statement in green, your reason, which is down here on this side, in underlined in yellow, your pieces of evidence underlined in blue, and then your opinion conclusion back in green. Okay, so you can choose either the townspeople or the beggar. Make sure that you get the evidence off of the chart at the beginning of this video, and then make sure you give your reason for why you think they benefited the most. And then you're going to put all of it together here on page 183 to answer this question. Okay. So that's the end of today's lesson. So you will just take a picture of your page 182 and 183 and upload it into the Google slide for me. And that will be all of your work for today on Thursday. Nope, Wednesday, not Thursday, Wednesday, April 21st. All right, so I will see you guys later. Hope you have a great afternoon. Bye.